All right, so we start tonight off with a little bit of a surprise. Tonight's game time pushed back. No set time, but no officials. So that's an interesting way to start tonight.
Yeah. I mean, gives it might throw off the pregame routine from both teams here.
Now, we don't know how far in advance that last night's game got moved or because of the schedule change. But all that we can report to you now is that officials did not show up on time, or one official. So they're thinking about starting with 2. But you know what? Let's move on from that. The OPRF Huskies come into tonight's ball game with they have an up and down season. Beat Stevenson, a very talented team, when they beat them, number 4 in the state. And now something that kind of surprised us.
Yeah.
No seniors in the starting lineup. What do you think about that?
Well, coming from a good team like OPRF, it's a bit of a surprise, I guess, because it gives a lot of potential, especially in the next year for this team where they can go. And we haven't seen OPRF actually play, so we don't know what they're about. But it's like it's just unusual, you know.
And so we were told that this is a very talented junior class. I mean, you look at a lot of times in this sport, when you think about only, juniors starting, you might think that the team as a whole is not that great, but we will tell you that we have heard phenomenal things about these juniors. Those are Isaiah Barnes, Demetrius Dorch, Anthony Coleman, Josh Smith, and Rashad Trice, and these are all guys, Dane, if you look. I mean, there's some height on this squad.
Yeah, unless it's wrong, but
I mean, look at the height of Isaiah Barnes at 6'6", 195. I mean, that is that's tonight's going to be a pretty big one. So tonight the theme is a green out, so a lot of green in the stands. Now, an important note: last time OPRF came to Dick Campbell, it was a fun one. The whiteout. That was the regional final, and that was where the Dukes advanced and eventually lost to Whitney Young at P-Dub. But you know what? It gets interesting because the Dukes last year lost it in the regular season. Here at home, as we now get OPRF making their way onto the floor, but it gets interesting because up until playoff time, the Dukes couldn't beat this team at home. I mean, what does Coach Dorn have to put together to make sure that doesn't happen tonight?
He's got to put together a good defense, something we've seen all season from the Dukes, and we're used to seeing a good defense, specifically led by Jeffrey Grace and Nate Shockey, but that needs to become consistent in the defense, transitioning into a good offense, and kind of taking like the points that you need.
And so, in your opinion, who is the X factor tonight for York?
Right now, it's Nate Shockey. Coming off a great game Tuesday night against Glenbard West, as he did earlier in the season as well. How usually the majority of the games this season, if Shockey is producing and playing well, the rest of the team plays well, and it produces wins. So that's the X factor.
Exactly, and kind of an interesting note, when Nate Shockey hit 20 points on Tuesday night, if you take away Nate's 20, the score would have only been Dukes by 3.
Right.
At the point where Nate hit 20.
I mean,
and I believe he finished
still really
around
good.
25. I mean, Glenbard West is a talented team.
Yeah.
They got talented sophomores and guys like Braden Huff. But it shows you how valuable guys like Nate are to this team. And so I think it gets interesting. I really do. And I think if the Dukes are going to go far, I mean, we're starting to wind things down. But we're getting towards the final stretch here. And for them to play well tonight, I really do think Nate, like you said, is going to be the X factor. So I believe we have officials. Both teams we're back to where we were about 20 minutes ago. Both teams on the floor. But I mean, what an atmosphere we have yet again, and the home court advantage in Dick Campbell is always something that always works to the advantage of our guys. So Dane, I'm going to ask you, how far do you think this team can get? It's a tricky question, but your honest answer.
I think we can make it to the state playoffs.
I would agree with that.
Like last year.
It's a fair statement.
They're going to start with 2 officials once this clock runs out, as we're keeping minutes total.
All right.
Go ahead. Keep going with that. Keep going with that thought.
I'm not going to say anything more than that because I don't want to.
Juju, I get it.
Yeah. But I do think this team has a lot of potential, and as far as it goes from where we were last year. So that's all I'm going to say. I don't want to.
Agreed. And so, and now a little bit of an update for you. As far as we've been told, I believe them. They said when the clock runs out, we're going to start for the time being with 2 officials. Now, it's not like it's the 4th quarter, so it's not a huge deal.
2 officials.
Maybe it is. I mean, this is going to be an experience for all of us. But I mean, I don't think we this game was supposed to start at 7:30. We got 7:47. Oh, we might be here for a while tonight, partner.
Oh yeah.
We would also like to give a shout out to Coach Lips, who underwent treatment today. Coach, only 2 more to go, and I can tell you, Coach Lips was always a guy, and continues to be that guy that you see pregame, before games, coming up to us, always shaking our hands, saying hello, and during the Jack Tosh. I mean, just a familiar face, and always really makes you feel comfortable, especially when you're in front of in front of a camera, it can be a little uncomfortable. Coach walks by, gives a little pat on the shoulder, and everything's good to go. So, Coach, we really hope you're doing well. Only 2 more to go, and we can't wait to see you back out here. And I mean, yeah, just the adventure continues. 1:57 till the tentative start to this ball game. I mean, you can't say much more than what we've covered. It's going to come down to Nate. Who I would like to see a little bit more out of is Jacob. I would like to see more out of Brandolino.
Me too.
He was such a force, earlier in the season. I'm not saying he hasn't been as of late, but I would like to see him more, on the offensive end of things.
Yeah, me too. He's not a selfish player though. He doesn't shoot many shots. If he realizes he's not in a rhythm, he will not continue to keep shooting. He'll pass the ball off. He'll make things work. He's a good playmaker. Yeah. So it also comes down to that. Yeah. So the fact that he's not scoring points doesn't mean he's not doing things that contribute to help this team win. So,
agreed. And so it will definitely be a fun one. It'll be OPRF and the Dukes coming up right after this. 1 minute until tip-off. And we will see you right after the break. Thank you, folks. Alrighty, let's get things rolling. It is the OPRF Huskies and the York Dukes. Dane, we talked about it. We need guys to step up. It's going to take more than just Nate Shockey. Going to take more than Jeffrey Grace. Need to see something out of Brando. We need to see more out of Hesh. And most importantly, Tim Glavin on the glass. I mean, I tell you what, I like how things are looking for us here tonight.
Yeah, me too. But one thing we're going to have to start using to our advantage in this game is rebounding. We've seen the height from this OPRF team, so rebounding is going to be essential, and it's going to lead to buckets and hopefully a win. So,
agreed. And so now addressing the referee situation, the official situation. The reason we are starting tonight's ball game late is because I believe we had a missing official. I don't know if he lost his way here.
Maybe, I don't know what it was, but yeah. But
we can't tell you the situation with certainty, but as we get things set to go, number 11, Isaiah Barnes, will take the jump for the Huskies, and number 50, Tim Glavin, will take the jump for your Dukes. As we get set, Dukes and Huskies. And we're off. Tip one by the Dukes. We go to work, starting with Nate Shockey and the guys headed to your left. All right, Dane, what do you want to see here early?
I want to see good shots, you know, just open looks, you know, buckets, just an early lead. Hopefully.
Brandolino, good fight, gets the and one shot. That's a good way to do it.
And just like you said, Gavin, Brandolino, we've been wanting to see more from him, and we have already tonight.
And I'm gonna be honest, I think you might have heard me there in the pregame. Is Brandolino looking to capitalize on the and one, does so. So we get things rolling. 3-0 Duke early lead. Just 20 seconds into this, and we are just underway. So starting things off for the Huskies is get a little cut there by Demetrius Borchers is no good, but Isaiah Barnes, a phenomenal talent, played a big role in the Huskies' win over Stevenson earlier this year. At the time, ranked number 4. A notable loss for the Dukes is Grace, right hand, no good. Rebound by Shockey, straight to Glavin. Glavin goes up, and he'll be blocked by number 30, Josh Smith. Back the other way come the Huskies. Up the floor, no travel call there. Good hands by Shockey. Brandolino back to Shockey. Nate looking, hesitates. Brandolino, 3-ball is off the mark, no good. Rebound by Glavin. All right, so I think like I said, I like how we're looking so far there, Dane.
Yeah, me too. Rebounds, you know, good passing so far. Unfortunately, that shot was blocked, but good pass to Glavin there, and then great job getting the defensive, getting the ball back on defense.
Good little look inside. Grace
getting back to work, right? Again, getting right back to work, and there it is.
And the early timeout called by the Huskies. Well, I tell you what, like we were saying, offensive boards are really going to mean a lot in this ballgame. This is a tall OPRF team. It's a very physical Duke team. So it's going to get interesting to see how this thing ends up, you know, shaping up. But what do you like here so far in the early going?
I'm liking the intensity from the Duke's offense and kind of catching OPRF kind of off guard there. So
I'd say
it's going good for York so far.
The energy is just so crucial in a game like this, a conference game like this, like we were talking about down the stretch. We haven't seen a whole lot from the Dukes defensively. Good hands, but OPRF hasn't had much of a chance to set up their offense in the first minute and a half of play.
So you see the press right now, early on, kind of forcing and almost really making the Huskies work early on. And that's something York does really well, is kind of change up their defense a lot and make the opposing offense work.
Barnes up top. Gives it to Smith. In the corner is Trice. It's back out to Barnes. Barnes trying to drive, can't do it. And it wounds up in the hands of Tim Glavin, and back the other way come the Dukes. Led by Grace. Grace, good little hesitate, drives, gets the finish with the right hand. Early lead, building up 7-0 the score. And now we see it, Dane. Dukes really using that 1-2-2 effectively.
And it's not a very complicated looking defense, but once you get into it, you really have to be. Not every team can run this defense. You got to be the type of team that's quick, aggressive on defense, and wants to be able to make defensive stops.
And here comes Shockey the other way, draws the foul, but a good block there from the sophomore Nick Hesch. And like you said, it's a very complex defense. It's complicated. Things need to be working. It has to be a well-oiled machine, and that's why, you know, Coach Doran does spend so much time trying to perfect this. Is Nate Shockey will go to the line shooting 2.
And 2 of the best players we see use this defense. And kind of what I've heard too from players like Lex Harrison, and he told me that they fuel and feed off of the defensive energy from Jeffrey Grace, as well as kind of the way Nate Shockey kind of works it up top, and it just runs the entire team.
Agreed. As Shockey hits both OPRF back the other way, going up and unable to do it is Rashad Trice, and here come the Dukes. Malaga to Shockey. Shockey pulls. Shockey hits. Got the 3. Nate Shockey knocks down that one. All right, Dane, double-digit lead very early. I tell you what, I think we like where these things are headed. Isaiah Barnes, good trap there by Shockey and Jeffrey Grace. This ball out of bounds will stick with the Huskies. All right, well, that's important.
Right.
Nate's hitting his shots. He's got 5 so far. Jeffrey with 4. I believe the other registered scorer. Who am I missing? Glavin? Timmy.
Oh, Brandolino.
Brandolino. That's who
he
it was.
came out. It looked like he was sitting with the trainer for something. I think he was bleeding or something.
Called for the travel.
So something I said right before the game was pre-game routine. This game was delayed about 15 minutes, and the routine from teams could completely change based on that. And something that stuck out to me is now the Dukes 12, Huskies 0. And
good job there by Nate, unable to finish. Wounds up in the hands of Smith, and back come the Huskies.
It almost seems like the Huskies are thrown off here a little bit.
Yeah, this is that tempo that we've talked about all year. First couple minutes of each half really do matter, because you can set your own tempo, get comfortable, and that's exactly what York has done here. Looking for the pass, getting it as Trice. The 3 ball by Smith is good.
That was a great job from the Huskies there.
Yeah, really
noticing it wasn't open down low, finding the open man, making the open shot. It was good ball movement.
Yeah, seriously, I mean, that was just perfect execution on the offensive side from OPRF. Looking, Shockey from the corner, pulls his second. Is off the mark, no good. Rebound by Jeffrey. Grace looking around, surveying, puts it up, gets the right hand floater. Yes, sir. Lead goes back to 11.
And something that the Dukes kind of just took advantage on was Peyton came out of the game, and he's their big man, and a
good look.
He wasn't in the game.
Yeah.
But a lot of people say is maybe Nate Shockey takes too many shots, and one thing I say is if you're able to get the rebound and at least be aware when the shot's coming, where the rebound's gonna go, there's nothing wrong with taking those types of shots.
Agreed. And Grace, another one, gets that. And with that, Jeffrey is already up to 8 points. Good hands there from Grace, and that energy from Jeffrey Grace, like you were talking about defensively, Dane, means so much to this team.
Rhodey for Glavin.
Good pickup. So Denton Rhodey, the junior, comes in for the senior. Tim Glavin is Barnes looking, driving, trying to get it down. No good. And look who it is, Rhodey on the steal. Here comes Shockey, and he'll slow things down. 2.5 to go in the first quarter. If you're a Duke fan, you're going to like where we're at. Looking, Brandolino goes up. Left-hand finish, no good. Rebound, believe, that's by number 24, Julian Payton.
And some advantages of putting Rhodey in with Hesch is you got the dual big man, but they're both very versatile. They can both shoot the ball but also able to work it inside the paint, and their source of rebounding.
Taken away by Grace. Good fake, left-hand finish, no good. Tipped up, and this one's going to stick with the Dukes. I tell you what, Jeffrey has had a phenomenal start to this ball game.
Right, 8 of 16 points, you know, early on. Something, you know, we're not used to seeing. Used to seeing the points majority coming from Shockey, early on especially.
Oh, good little fake hand up. Jeffrey got the and one bucket. Grace on the finish. Just like that, he's got 10 going to the line for his 11th. Tell you what, he. As Grace goes to the line to capitalize on the and one. Unable to do so. It's a rebound by Barnes.
It's not something you see very often. You know, missed free throw from Jeffrey Grace seems a little unusual.
Well, I thought the Dukes have been pretty disciplined in terms of free throw shooting so far this year. Hope it can continue. So now Dortch is back up to Barnes. Now to Trice in the corner. The 3-ball. Smith is off the mark. No good. Rebound by Grace.
It's not a type of shot you want to be taking down 18-5. You kind of want to, early on like this, you kind of want to, stolen.
Barnes the other way. Driving on Shockey, and he'll be fouled.
Right, that's the type of thing you want to do if you're down by this score. You don't want to be chucking up threes and hoping they go in. You want to kind of find out what works. Still got a lot of time left. Figure out what works. Still got a lot of time left. You know, try and work the ball. Pass the ball around a little bit. Look for open shots. Get inside. You know.
Agreed. And the Huskies have only gotten themselves in a hole where, you know, if they can't, you know, start getting some turnovers, that hole is only going to get deeper. As Barnes misses the front end. 1:20 to go in the first quarter. Barnes hits that one. Shockey up to Rhodey. Rhodey looking around, gives back to Nate. Nate guarded by the junior, Anthony Coleman. Gives inside to Rhodey on the left block. Kicks out Brandolino. His first three is good and strong. 21-6, 15-point lead for the Dukes. 1 minute to go in the first quarter.
Bench loves it.
Best bench in the nation is all about it.
Best bench in the nation.
I mean, if you're OPRF here, are you most likely looking to take the last shot of the quarter? I guess not, as that 3-ball is good. Rashad Trice.
I don't know about that. I think that was the right shot because you want to just, you know, you shoot the ball, you make it 30 seconds left, you know.
Agreed. It's the open shot. If it's there, you got to take it.
Right.
But that gives the Dukes a chance now to end the quarter with the ball. Look, Grace, left hand, right hand finish, no good. Rebound by Barnes with 3, with 2, with 1. He'll throw it up and unable to hit. So at the end of the first quarter, the score 21 for the Dukes and 9 for the Huskies. All right. So I mean that's a quick start. That's what you want.
Very impressive start.
I mean, what do you think so far? Your X factor, you said, was Nate. I think the X factor now, I mean, you look at the score with 10 points is Jeffrey Grace.
Right, he's playing really good defense and offense right now. You know, he's got a lot of inside shots in transition, working the ball inside. Yeah, right now the X factor is Jeffrey, but I think as this game moves on, it's still gonna be Nate Shockey. I think he's gonna start to shoot lights out, and you know, it's always centered around Nate Shockey.
Yeah, and now Dane hinted at it. The defense from Jeffrey Grace is so crucial and really gives a spark to this entire team, and that's something that we've seen here in the early going. I think Jeffrey already with 3 steals in the first quarter. So the first 8 minutes of play with 3 steals and 10 points. I think he's doing all right. To 21-9, the score to start the second quarter. Dukes like where they're at a lot. And I mean, you know, compared to the last time we were in this gym, this student section getting a little bit more crowded as we've gone. I mean, Thursday night you can't expect a whole lot.
And one more thing to point out: the production and the sense of urgency from this Dukes team in their last couple of games. You know, Lombard West, however much they won by, was it like 30?
Yeah.
Coming off of that, going into this game. It's up 3.
Hash 3 ball short, rebound by Barnes.
That style of play and that just the way you annihilate a team like that, it moves into the next game, moving on, and it creates momentum, and it's just very important to where they are now, and it's gotten to where they are now.
And Barnes has played quite the role in a couple key victories for the Huskies. Good hands there from Shockey, and back the other way comes Jeffrey up to Shockey. Shockey right hand finish is good. 23-9 the lead goes to, and that is Nate's 7th point of the game. And I mean, yet again, the defense, Jeffrey Grace.
And when you're in transition and you're the Dukes, the one player you often see scoring the most is Nate Shockey, and you like to see that pass, like you saw from Jeffrey Grace. He does a really good job at passing the ball, and that's a hard pass to make, is making that pass in transition.
And out comes Shockey. In goes Luke Malaga. That foul there on Nick Hesh, his first and the team's second. That defense is always causing problems as Barnes looking to penetrate. Good hands again by who else but Jeffrey Grace. Up to Malaga. Luke for 3. He got it. 3 ball from Luke. Malaga knocks it down. Yes, sir. 26-9. What an answer out of the break. I'll tell you what, we like that one. Let's go, baby. And the best bench in the nation does too. So that is now. Do you want to hear a stat? Do you want to hear a stat? This is a good stat. Now, that was Luke's first 3-point. Now, according to Tyler Olson, that was Luke's first 3-point of the season.
I heard jokes about that this week.
I did too. So Luke, if he goes back and is watching this, Luke, congratulations on your first 3-pointer of the season. You know, it's ironic because I heard the stat of threes earlier today. It was
a joke.
I don't know what the joke was, but I know what the stat was. But we got you, Luke. We'll keep that one under wraps as Barnes kick out to the corner. 3 ball off the mark, no good, but rebound by Barnes over Rhodey as he'll go up trying to draw the foul, and he does so, and he'll head to the line for 2. And checking back in the ball game now is Nate Shockey.
Foul 33, Nick Hesh, his second, team's 3rd.
And so you can see the relief after that ball went in on Luke's face.
Yeah, you can see the smile on his face. And just the rest of the team.
Just a little smirk as Grace will come out. Shockey goes in. And as Hesh will come out, Milo Mann will check in. You know, we talked about how important it was as you know, the season goes on to see points spread out across, you know, things like the box score, and that's what we're seeing here in the early going. 6.5 to go in the first half. So far, everything is going the way of the Dukes. Rhodey looking to give up the ball, does so, gives it to Brandolino. He'll look and trying to get it back into Rhodey, and deflected by Barnes. Shockey inbounds to Mann. Looking around, good feed inside. Brandolino can't finish. Second chance, no good. And I believe that foul will go on Nate as Demetrius Dortch had the rebound. You good, Dane?
Yeah, I'm good.
And that's going to go for a half-court violation. I mean, you were dancing. It's okay. Now, you can.
Just a little bit.
Are you vibing? Were you vibing? You might as well just explain it now. I mean, word.
I'm looking across the way in the student section. I see Nick and Eric, and I was just,
I got you.
I don't know.
I got you.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure you know nothing was happening. Shocking deep 3 ball.
Oh no, I was watching.
No good rebound by Barnes. Goes off the hands of Malaga.
You know, right now you don't want to be shooting too many threes. Try and work the ball. Don't rush anything.
Agreed. Can't get greedy.
Right.
Good defense there from Rhodey. Good hands there from Brandolino.
Good D.
One last touch by Josh Smith.
Brando continues to have a good game, defensively, offensively. He's got 6 points. Let's see. Just get that turnover.
So he'll come out of the ball game now, and in comes Jeffrey Grace. Score 26-9, just under 5.5 to go in the first half. It's Milo Mann takes things out of the corner and back up top to Grace. Grace looks, driving, left-hand finish. He's got it, man. One bucket. I tell you what, with that basket, Jeffrey goes 12 points.
Husky foul 30, Josh Smith. That's his first team score.
So, I mean, you know, Nate, you said Nate's your X factor, but with Jeffrey here tonight, we might not need one.
Right. And something Jeffrey, you know, you kind of notice is he has a really good basketball mind, basketball mentality. You know, he knows not to shoot a three. He knows to go inside, try and draw that foul, or whatever. And it's really been shown because you see other players maybe start shooting threes or whatever, but he knows the exact situation and exactly what to do.
Outside from the elbow, Smith, no good. Rebound by Grace. Up to Shockey. Dukes go the other way. Looking, spinning, good move. Right hand finish, no good. Rebound there from Dorchin. And you talked about can't get greedy in terms of points.
Right.
You know, slowing things down is not going to hurt you. And here comes back the other way, Nate Shockey. Right hand finish is good. Looking for the N1 bucket, not getting it, but I'll tell you what, with a score of 30-9, who needs it?
And the Huskies might start to panic here, shoot shots they shouldn't really be shooting. And if I was a Husky still, I'd be trying to work it inside. A 2 isn't much different than a 3 as he gets that bucket, but you got to take all the shots and all the points you can get inside to try and at least cut this lead back.
Yeah, the good spin move there, and right hand finish from Rashad Trice, the 6-foot guard. As now Grace looks up strong. Right hand finish, rims in for him. 32-11. Just under 4 minutes to go.
Tyler Olson showing off the dance moves on the bench down there too. Felt like pointing that out.
This kick cut there from Smith. You were talking about you see the This Is Sports Center commercials.
Da-na-na, da-na-na.
I think we're gonna have a This Is YSN commercial. Get the bench involved. You know, not everyone has the pleasure of seeing the best bench in the nation do what they do best. I mean, play basketball comes first, but the celebrations are also top notches.
Yeah, they're essential to
Agreed.
You know, fueling the team.
As Grace hits 15 points, and adding to his impressive night thus far. Both teams with 3.5 remaining in the first half with 5 fouls. Grace hits both. And a timeout will be called by the Dukes. All right, so you know what? I think they're in good shape. I really do. I like where things are headed. Now we talked about this last time. We talked about over-unders and everything like that.
Yeah.
Where do you let's say over-under? Let's go. You think? All right, I think it's no question they get to 16 tonight. I think that's a fair statement.
They get to 16?
60.
Oh,
the Dukes get to 60.
Oh, I was like,
I'll take the over.
I'll take over. Yeah.
Oh, we're both taking over?
Yeah.
All right, I'll go 65 over. You going under? Are you gonna go under?
Under 70. I'll take low 60s. Wait, that's tough.
I'll go 65 to 70. You can take 60 to 65.
Yeah, I'll do that.
All right, so far, like we said, if you're a Duke fan, you're going to like where things are at. 34-13 the score on the conference opponent, the Oak Park River Forest Huskies. Jeffrey Grace playing a pivotal role thus far with 16 of the Duke's 34. I tell you what, you know, Shockey has had an impressive night so far as well, but I mean Jeffrey Grace with a couple very, very impressive steals and some great things on the defensive end, and obviously some great things on the offensive side of the ball too.
Yeah, and for Shockey, you know, when you see other players not named Nate Shockey starting to produce and score points, you start to almost ignore the fact that Shockey's productivity on offense starts to kind of creep up, and you don't notice it. He's got 9 points. He's got the, you know, nothing, you know, off from that, and it's obviously allowing Jeffrey Grace to produce so well, but you know, Shockey's still playing his game, and as this game continues.
So 34-13 as we hit 3.5 to go in the second quarter. Demetrius Dortch looking for something, gives it to Barnes, and I'll tell you what, things looked good early for the Huskies in terms of offense, but we haven't seen too much here as of late. Barnes' three-pointer is off the mark, no good. And Dan, you talked about they need to start driving more, trying to you know, draw some fouls. I mean, they're even, but I mean, this is just not what you want if you're Matt Maloney in the Huskies.
Yeah, if you're OPRF, like I said, you want to pass the ball around and look for open shots. You still got a lot of time left, and I think you save the three-pointers to like late. If you're down by, you know, this much, you want to save the three-pointers to maybe late third quarter, fourth quarter. Yeah. Like, you know, the chucking up every shot three-pointer, but I don't know.
Travel called there on the last possession before they could get it off. And now on the baseline inside of Dortch. Great defense here from Glavin. And a walk will be called on Demetrius Dortch, and back the other way of the Dukes we go. Checking back into the ball game is Jacob Brandolino coming in for Luke Malaga.
And that was the right idea there, coming from OPRF. Yeah. But when you got Tim Glavin down low like that, there's nothing you could do.
Yeah. Ill-advised pass there results in the easy layup for Josh Smith, as the Huskies have moved to the full court press, and breaking it easily are the Dukes. Good look inside of Glavin. Tim looking around, giving good little cut there from Brandolino, but winds up in the hands of my little man, and now setting things back up is Grace. Looking around, Jeffrey drives up strong, no good, rebound by Dortch. Here comes Smith. Good little move there, finds Barnes in the corner. And now, you know what, from the, you know, very poor offense we've seen from the Huskies tonight, it's been the Isaiah Barnes show. You know, he seems to be taking a lot of the shots. As that three there is, and he knocks that one down. But that seems what a lot of this is, a 6'6" forward. Kind of the only one getting involved here. Grace looks. That one no good. Must have gotten tipped and unable to finish. Glavin. And Barnes makes that one look easy.
And that's where their points should be coming from right about now.
Man, can't finish the pass to Glavin, and here comes the Huskies. Dortch slowing things down. Getting ready to check back into the ball game is Rashad Trice. And this is a junior-dominated team. Like we said earlier, no seniors in the starting lineup as we go to 45 seconds left in the second quarter. And you might, you know, assume at this point, Dane, that the Huskies are going to try and maybe hold is it travel called there on Dortch. So that's as Nick Hesh and Denton Rhodey come in, and I mean that's just not the possession you want, you know, to conclude the half. Would you say that's a fair statement?
Yeah, that's fair. I agree. Sorry, I'm nodding my head. I forget,
got you.
it's not.
Outside, Hesh, 3-ball from the corner. He is off the mark, no good. Rebound by Rhodey, and
Knocked out of his hands.
unable to come up with that one, as Malaga will check back in. He will come in for Shockey. And Harrison will come in for Hesh. So, those poor possessions from both teams there on that one. He's looking now, Barnes. Given to Smith. Smith drives, left hand finish is good. 10 seconds to go. Inbounds to Brandolino, giving back to Grace. Grace with 5, now with 4, with 3, with 2 behind the back, taken away. Back the other way comes Trice. He'll go up and can't get it to Smith in time, and that will be how we conclude the first half. The score: the Dukes 34 and the Oak Park River Forest Huskies 22. And that's how we'll do it. The end of the first half. Dukes with a 12-point advantage. We'll see you after the break. So the score at the end of the first half is 34-22 now. A 12-point lead for the Dukes, but you didn't like how the first half ended. I don't think anyone in the
No, I
either.
kind of had a weird look on my face. I was really confused how OPRF ended up. What were they scored maybe like 7, 8 points in the last minute or two.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was. Lack of defense, lack of, I don't know, energy, urgency. I didn't like it at all. It looked really sloppy to me.
Very lopsided run there to end the first half as things go back to work for the Dukes, and immediately getting on the floor is Tim Glavin. This ball ripped away by Rashad Trice, and a foul will be called there on Glavin. You don't like that early foul there either.
No. It's kind of a dumb foul.
But yeah, you know, we talked about 3.5 minutes left to go. Actually, I think it was up towards 4 minutes. There was, 30, was that? Yeah, it was still 34 points because we talked about, you know, possibly hitting 60, the possibility, and it, you know, that's kind of dwindled here as of late.
Yeah, it's kind of giving me a headache.
Is it really?
Honestly, yeah. I'm just a little frustrated with how that second half ended. Like, honestly, how good OPRF played and how sloppy we looked.
Yeah, and credit to OPRF for working their way back into this ball game. Good cut there, but a great block from Glavin.
Gets his own block
And up to Nate he goes. I'll tell you what, this is, that one, he got close to the line there.
Close call.
This one will go back the other way with the Dukes, and not liking that one is Matt Maloney. I'm not going to lie, I think I might agree with him there. So Grace and the Dukes back the other way.
And now begin to expect a little bit more from Nate Shockey in the second half.
Agreed, and like you said, this might be where Nate starts to become that X factor you were talking about as Grace goes left-hand finish.
Wow,
This is wrong.
every time I say Nate Shockey X factor, Jeffrey Grace seems to score. I'm not mad, but it's like opposite of what I'm saying in that case.
That one. This Barnes on the bucket, 36-25.
9th point of the game from Barnes. This is, I believe that's his 3rd three-pointer.
This hash from the elbow jumper is good. 38-25, Dukes lead to 13.
You really like to see that coming from, you know, the sophomore, you know, your future Nick Hesh. Another good block.
Shockey back the other way. Up to Hesh. Good hands there from Josh Smith. I believe he stepped out of bounds there. It's Maloney letting Anthony Coleman hear it. You hear that?
Yeah, he's loud.
You can hear it through the headphones as Grace goes up. Right hand bucket is strong. Jeffrey Grace gets the lead back to 15 for the Dukes.
2-0. 20 points, Jeffrey Grace.
I'll tell you what.
That's something.
I believe this is his highest scoring game of this season.
It's only early in the 3rd quarter.
Another steal there from Jeffrey.
It's a JG show.
Looking, Shockey for 3. No good. That one off the mark. Rebound by Justin Payton. We all started getting excited there. And unable to hit with Shockey.
This gym would have went wild.
No shot. A push will be called. That's in Glavin. His second of the ball game. And his second of the half for the Dukes. Looking inbound is Dortch. Surveying, getting into Barnes, the man who's run the show so far for the Huskies. He looks, he goes up, right hand finish, no good. Rebound by Jeffrey Grace. You know, Jeffrey, it feels like he's flirting with the triple-double here. He goes outside, Brandolino in the corner, guarded by Smith.
A triple-double on steals.
Seriously. I mean, he's just, these numbers that you see Grace putting up are not the usual. Everyone's used to the Nate Shockey show as he looks to the corner to Hesh. Hesh driving. No travel. Yes, the travel will be called. I was going to say, I think.
Say Travis?
If that, no, I said the travel will be called.
Oh.
No, I was going to say if the travel wasn't called, I think that's
okay.
a little bit of generosity there from these officials. Dorch and the Huskies go back to the left. Checking into the ball game for the Dukes at the next break will be Denton Rohde. It's from the corner. Trice can't hit. Rebound by Hesh. And so Jeffrey, by a lot, is tonight's leading scorer up to this point. Looking around, this one taken away by Smith. He'll go up, looking around. Good defense from Glavin, looking for Barnes. Can't do it on the baseline. Is Barnes. Good hands there from Grace.
You continue to see Grace's ability on defense to slow down the offense. It's picking up still.
As Glavin comes out, Rohde checks in. Just under 3.5 to go in the third quarter. Barnes straight out of the inbound with the three, and it's no good. Good hands there from Dorch, though. He'll make that one look really easy. Right hand finish is good. So the Huskies now going back here to the full court press. Dukes kind of threw off the Dukes in the first half, but breaking it pretty easily. Nate for three, no good. Rebound by Smith.
Right, and like you said, one thing that could go wrong with the full court press is if you break it, it allows a wide open look.
Yeah,
for the offense.
Up to Hesh, he stepped out of bounds. Gathering that one, and you know, not a great pass there from Shockey.
Yeah, he seemed to be off. Besides, scoring, I mean, playmaking-wise so far, as in ball movement and other things, he's been a little slow with it tonight.
And really a lot of credit to these other guys, stepping up here.
And Grace has been taking up the ball, the majority, especially in the second half so far tonight.
Now that's not what you want if you're a Husky.
Nope.
Is Brando to inbound the ball. But I tell you what, Dukes they do look a little uneasy when Maloney, puts this full court press on. Trying to drive baseline with Shockey. Now Shockey from the corner, three-pointer on the way is good. Made Shockey for three.
Finally, there it is. That's what I've been waiting for.
You've been
all
waiting
night
for
long.
It?
Oh yeah.
I think we all have. Down inside, going up strong. No foul called there on Hesh, but a poor pass there from Rohde. Coach doesn't like it. Smith will inbound now for the Huskies. You know what, I definitely think, Dane, to end the first half is long three there from Smith, no good. Up to Grace. No slow things down, but, to end the half, I think that took a little bit of energy out of this gym. Timeout called from Coach Dorn. All right,
timeout.
So what do you like? What do you not like so far as we get into this one?
So far, I mean, the sense of urgency coming from the Dukes has been a little bit less than what we saw in that first quarter. But what do you guys are
keep going.
Throwing me off a little bit.
Keep going.
And what I do like is Jeffrey Grace's ability to score tonight, and what he's been doing well is, I said this earlier in the game, or earlier maybe before the game, good defense leads to good offense. Jeffrey Grace has had a phenomenal game defensively, and it's really transitioned into how he's played offensively in ways of steals and rebounds, as well as the rest of the team. And I think that's where they were able to gain or get most of their points tonight.
Yeah, and these transition buckets have really paid off for the Dukes, getting that ball up and down the court very quickly. We've seen a lot of easy layups for the Dukes. Inside, Shockey, right hand finish, no good. Gets his own rebound, yes sir.
And right there, good ball movement. Noticing the open man down low, able to get your own rebound and put that back up for the second chance. It's tough to do.
Smith goes, good aggressive drive, can't get the and one. And a push will be called there, headed to the line, shooting 2 is Smith. And that foul will be the 3rd on the Dukes.
All right.
That'll be on Denton Rhodey.
One thing I kind of noticed there, I wish we could have like a replay, but when you see Nate Shockey kind of creep up on the other side of half court and kind of try and steal the ball and jump the ball, it's like it creates the backdoor.
Yeah, it does allow for that
Open.
backdoor cut.
Right, and it creates a space down low, especially on the 1-2-2, because you have 2 men down low now, not 3, like the 2-3.
Yeah.
And that's where OPRF has been able to. It's good coaching, obviously, and it's where OPRF has figured out where, like, how to get their points tonight.
Yeah, and Luke Malaga comes into the ball game for Jacob Brandolino, and Milo Mann for Nate Shockey, who had blood, so you know he has to check out of the ball game. That is the rule, but that's showing no signs of stopping the Dukes. Good pass and a good job drawing the foul as Denton Rhodey. He'll head to the line for 2.
Yeah, that's great awareness, because if he would have went right up with it, he would have been blocked. But ability to pump fake, wait, and draw the foul. Great job from Rhodey.
And now that is only the first foul in the Huskies of the half, as Denton Rhodey hits the front end. And coming back into the ball game is Shockey and checking out his man. You know, and the Dukes, that brings us to a good point. The Dukes have been, you know, relatively lucky in terms of injuries this year. Is hitting that one is Denton Rhodey. Now the absence of Frederick Levens. I mean, what do you think about that?
Well, we've seen players like Brandolino specifically step up in his position and kind of take the role of Frederick Levens.
Yeah.
And he's been a great role player this season, producing decent numbers scoring-wise. But like we said, he's a player that's a great role player.
As Smith throws that one down with authority. 30 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter, and the Huskies going right back to the full court press.
He's a great role player, and he allows other players to kind of score the basketball.
You know what, I will say it'll be interesting to see what happens between Frederick Levens and Denton Rhodey, you know, as we go into next year.
Yeah.
You know, it'll be interesting to see, you know, who's fighting for what role, and you know how the cookie crumbles. As inbounding the ball now is Luke Malaga.
I think the most improved player we've seen all season is from Denton Rhodey.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, no question.
I don't think anyone was expecting him to come out this year and play the way he's playing.
And he's been a real strong force. As Grace with 10 seconds at the top of the key, looking for something. He'll drive, right hand floater, no right hand finish, no good. Back up Malaga, got that one, his 5th point of the ball game, and that will be how we end the 3rd quarter. So, Dane, you know, I think it's been it was a relatively, you know, somber start, but I think, you know, with a 49-31 lead for the Dukes, I think you really do like where you are. Is that?
Yeah, that's true.
You know, easy to say?
Because I've been saying this all season. The time you really want to take advantage scoring-wise is in that 3rd quarter, because if you have the lead and you can hold the lead in the 4th quarter, no shot clock, you really see the opportunities getting less and less from the team that's winning, like the Dukes right now. without the shot clock.
Yeah.
So
and
yeah.
like you said, the first couple, minutes of each half are so crucial because it allows you to set that tempo
Yeah.
and kind of get things set, allows you to get comfortable. And we saw that, in the first half for sure. The Dukes obviously jumping out to the 9-0, 11-0 lead. But that first half was kind of back and forth, 12, whatever it was. That first half kind of bounced back and forth. I think is something that you and I both noticed. But what do you think the Dukes have to really work on to kind of seal the deal here? Because I think like we said, that full court press is really showing itself for the Huskies.
Right. I think right now, if you're defensively, York, I think you want to stay back and kind of play it safe. Do what you're good at, rather than what you're not really too familiar with. Stick with what you're good at. Yeah, right.
Exactly.
And right now, you want to play this solid 1-2-2 defense. You don't want, if you're Nate Shockey, you don't want to creep up too much, like what he's doing now.
For sure.
You want to stay back.
And like you said, now is definitely not the time to take risk. I mean, this is a talented Husky team, and you got 8 minutes to just close out this ball game. And the Huskies will attempt to chip back with guys like Isaiah Barnes, who I believe is our leading scorer, shooting that three there, and he's automatic, 49-34. And that's how we will start things in the fourth quarter.
It's his 14th tonight, Barnes.
And he ties Shockey in terms of points. And Nate's knocked down some pretty important threes in terms of extending the Dukes' lead. You got no doubt that York is going to try and chip away at this clock. No basket, and a charge call there. And, you could tell a little bit, Nate used his hand a little bit there.
For sure.
But I don't know how much, that was really, I think, good job, selling the charge there. Is up in front, Barnes, floater, air, ball. And now here comes Nate. Look, drive, Shockey, good, strong, right hand finish is good. Tell you what, when you got a 51-34 lead, just keep extending it. So now we talk about the over-under of 60. We were talking about that earlier.
Like I said, 60 to 65 is where I think we're going to end up at.
I got $10, 65 to 70 is drive, Dortch, no good. Breaking it up. Payton, and this ball will stick with the Dukes.
I'm not going to say anything about that.
What?
I'm not going to put any more input in on that part.
In terms of points? Oh, in terms of money.
I don't think we could say that.
The NCAA doesn't have to know.
NCAA doesn't have to know about Odell Beckham Jr. Handing out that money either. But
we'll call that a pass. Good finish there by Glavin. But, if Joe Burrow hasn't done anything, neither have we. This OPRF moves back. I mean, that video in Barstool is phenomenal. Get that thing framed. As Barnes looks.
What about that hat?
Eric
I don't know if I can now.
No, we cannot reference the hat as Eric Locke Jr. on the finish. It's Grace now. Gives to Hesh in the corner. Guarded by Barnes. Hesh looking around, and he'll be called for the travel. Kind of felt that one.
Kind of slipped there a little bit.
The moment he picked up the ball.
Yep.
I think Doran put it a pretty simple way. Please land on 2 feet. That's all you need to do. 1 foot in front of the other. And the Huskies really needing something quickly because time is going to start becoming a factor. Score just a little too much to rely on free throws.
Yeah, don't be surprised if they start panicking here a little bit.
Good block there from Hesh. Didn't even leave his feet. And a foul will be called on Glavin. That's going to end up being his third.
Foul number 50, Tim Glavin.
So yeah, like I said, don't be surprised if OPRF starts kind of shooting threes a lot and hitting that panic button a little bit, freaking out.
Yeah, this is where you need guys like Barnes.
Right. He's been shooting pretty well tonight.
He has. And this is Locke, giving it now to Smith. Barnes, good spin move at the elbow, kicks outside, and unable to hit that one is Trice. As we hit 5 minutes to go in the ball game. So far, it's been all Dukes, led by that man, Jeffrey Grace. I mean, watching Tim pull that one would have been would have been great.
That's where that side came from. I was ready for him to shoot it. Come on, Timmy.
Look. And now Nate looking, and he'll get the and one bucket. And he's just so good at that. I mean, that's something that he knows. He's a guy that knows how to finish right around the bucket.
He's quick, athletic. He's got everything.
And coming out of the ball game is Tim Glavin.
In comes Rhodey.
At the line is Nate trying to capitalize on the and one, does so. So 56-36, a 20-point advantage for the Dukes. Just over 4.5 to go in the second half.
And like I and like I said earlier, don't be surprised if you see Nate Shockey start to kind of produce here a little bit and start to come back in terms of points. He's got 19.
And he has.
JG's got 20.
I think he had 9 to start the second half, so
yeah,
10 here in the second half. You know, just really sloppy offense from the Huskies is shocking. Is that one oh my Lord.
Oh my.
Rashad Trice on the block.
Someone,
you know, Trice was just at the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
He was right behind Hesh. Nick didn't see him. Now back inside, a little payback there.
Kid's
Nick
been in the
Hesh with 4.
I don't know who that was with the block, but he's been in the weight room a little bit. That's for sure.
Now Barnes at the elbow, goes up, right hand, no good. No go to the line, shooting 2. This foul will be the 6th on the Dukes. It'll be on Brandolino. It'll be the 2nd of the night. 6th team foul of the night. Knocking down that one. And the front end is Barnes. Checking in for the Huskies is number 21, Anthony Coleman, the starter, and coming out is Demetrius Dortch. You know, Dane, we talked about at the beginning the youth of this OPRF team. No seniors in the starting lineup. Is able to hit both buckets is Barnes. As this gym slowly starts to disintegrate as we get closer to the conclusion of this ball game. 3.5 minutes to go. Shockey goes up, unable to finish. Believe the block was there by Coleman. Up the other way, Barnes, right hand, good.
18 now from Barnes tonight.
Man, he is by far the leading scorer tonight for the Huskies. Maloney just not getting too many calls tonight as Rhodey bucket. And that's going to be a bench warning on OPRF, and Maloney is letting them hear it.
You know, something about Rhodey is he's very similar to Jeffrey Grace in terms of mindset. He's a kid I kind of grew up with, you know, playing sports with, baseball and stuff. Never played basketball with him. He was too good for me, but he knows a lot about you know, the game itself and sports themselves. So he knows kind of situational and when to man. It's kind of tough to explain for me, but when to score, how to score, ways to score.
I get what you're saying.
He's kind of got that under
his belt. I get
where
you're getting at. Yeah. And you know what? That an interesting exchange there between the OPRF head coach Matt Maloney and the official here on the near side. I mean, you know, Maloney, you know, pointed to the fans, said everyone knows it. I mean, that's interesting. You know, like, could you ever imagine a guy like Coach Dorn doing that?
No.
You just don't imagine him saying that.
It's a little disrespectful.
I mean, everyone knows it, and then pointing to the fans. No, he pointed over here. He pointed at us.
Oh, okay. Well, we're on the OPRF side.
We are on the OPRF side. You know, we're not court side like the Toch, but I mean, there's just certain coaches that you don't imagine doing that.
He's been fired up all game long.
He has been.
You can hear him.
I would be.
Everything, you can still hear him.
I would be if I was losing by 22.
Oh, yeah.
I would not be a happy camper.
Or coming out in the game down 12-0.
Look at him. He's still doing it. He's looking for a 5-second call. Coach, a little late.
What are the odds he gets kicked out?
Just weird. All right, Dan, you know what? I think we're going to hit 65. Barnes and the Huskies go back to work on our left side.
No, I mean, that's really good.
All right, $10 it is. Outside.
No.
Looking Dorch.
No, we never
trying
said
to
that,
drive.
Gavin.
Good hands by Grace going up. No good. Rebound by Hesh.
No money was placed on the
And here comes
this
Shockey
game.
driving up strong, gets the and one bucket. We're going to be 2 points away.
All right,
from
I don't
65.
care. I don't care.
I'm gonna get,
there was
I'm
no
have
money
$10
put.
in my pocket.
No, it was a guess, Gavin. It was a guess. All right. I would have said 65-70, but you said that, so I was just kind of, I was just going with what I want to go something different, you know.
Shockey has me that much. Oh, shoot. Shockey unable to hit that one. And
so, when are we going to see the bench players come?
It's going to be Rhodey called there for the foul, his third and the 7th on the Dukes.
Wow.
And a 1-and-1 coming up.
And one thing statistically you see that's very off right now is, you know, we're up 22, but York has 7 fouls. They only have 3.
Yeah.
And usually you see it flipped with the score like this.
You would expect OPRF, you know, as York got closer and closer, you know, to foul trouble, to try and take advantage of that. And that's just not something that they did. And that results in a 22-point lead for the Dukes. So if you've been on a majority of tonight's ball broadcast, and you know that things have gone the way of the Dukes from the get-go. 12 points. I believe at one point, like you said, Dane, the score was 12-0. And a foul will be called there on Rashad Trice. And here he comes, checking into the ball game. His number 42, Dan Wagner. Number 24, Lex Harrison. Sean Maher, Gavin Hendren. Here they all come.
Gavo. Dude. The fans love it.
That documentary is going to be a great thing.
Yeah. Link in my Instagram will be Gavin's documentary, as well as his.
Oh, the Game of Gavo. Theater.
The Game of Gavo.
Theater soon.
No, not
it's
actually.
Milo Man. We'll get things going the other. We'll get things going the other way.
So you want to hear a fun fact?
What's that?
No, we're up this much. It's about Lex Harrison.
What's that?
Something you would know is he is very good at the game Minecraft.
Is he really?
Yeah. He taught me how to enchant my diamond sword.
Go on.
Yeah, he's really good at the game.
Oh, that's it?
I mean, this is a fun fact.
All right.
You wouldn't know. You didn't know that, did you?
I didn't.
See?
Learn something new every day as Underwood misses both, but getting his rebound. Missing badly as the Huskies, and rebound to Milo Man. Man guarded by Underwood, and here comes Luke Rosenstein and Tyler Olson at
the dancing man,
next
T.O.
Happy Feet.
Yes, Happy Feet. No, I actually call my brother that in basketball because he, Happy Feet.
Harrison surveying, looking for something. I thought he was going to get to Maher. Wagner with the ball. Looking. Wagner driving. Looking around. Giving back up to Harrison. Harrison looking. Gives back inside Wagner. Wagner goes up. No. And this one.
Dale Wagner will go to the line.
He's going to go to the line. This place is going to erupt if he hits this front end. 53.3 seconds to go in the ball game. 62-40 the score. Wagner hits that one. And now in the ball game is Luke Rosenstein and Tyler Olsen coming out. Milo Mann and Gavin Henry. Dan Wagner misses that one. Rebound by Underwood. 50 seconds to go. 63-40, a 23-point advantage for the Dukes.
I'd like to see Lex or Maher score here.
I would too. Actually, I want T.O. at the line too. Underwood, deep three.
I mean, I've seen T.O. score before.
Rebound by Wagner. We're about to see it again. We're going to see a lob here to Mr. Wagner. Throw it down. As Rosenstein gives to Harrison. 20 seconds to go. Harrison looking to drive. Doesn't do so. Takes it back out, slowing things down with 15, with 14, going up. Harrison, right hand finish is good. 10 seconds to go in the ball game. 65-40. That's $10, partner.
Hey, at least Lex scored. I don't care.
With 4.
No, wait.
With 3. With 2. And that's going to be the end of the ball game. Dukes with the win, 65-40. Dane,
hold on.
What do you have to say?
There was no money placed on this to begin with. Also,
all right.
We said 60 to 65 or 65 to 70. It was 65.
65 to. Oh, we
all
right.
Same thing.
We'll sort this out later.
It's even.
All right. So the final score.
You're both right.
The Dukes 65. The OPRF Huskies 40. Ladies and gentlemen, that will conclude our broadcast.
No, we're not gonna do post-game talk. No.
I don't think we are.
No.
We'll get you next time.
No. That's
the
cool.
Dukes 65. The Huskies 40. So long, everybody, and roll Dukes. Thanks for joining us here tonight.